Hey, my name is Sage. I am one of 3 founding members of Growth Engine for Humans, and this is my capstone presentation project. I can introduce a little bit about our business just to give a bit of context for the 2 automations that I've made. So we are a consulting firm that provides essentially human-centric 90-day sprints to generate predictable growth. Mainly we're targeting businesses that aren't making use of automations or, essentially anything that Keap can do is what we're doing. So campaign 1 begins here with a form. And, this is basically going to be a freebie. This isn't a fully implemented section yet. But it's going to be our lead gen here on the page. So once they fill out this form, let me hop out of here, sorry. A couple of things are going to happen. So first of all, I'm going to get an email alert saying, hey, you got a lead. On the customer's end, they're going to receive an email confirming that they filled out the form and that good things are on their way. And on the back end here, I can show off the canvas. So on this side of things, when the form is submitted, they're hopping into a sequence, and here I've set up an HTTP request to pull the information from this form and input it into this email here. And this takes advantage of liquid syntax and merge fields and that HTTP request to populate different versions of the email depending on what the customer's inputs were. So this is, let's say they didn't fill out industry at all. This is going to be their view. Just very general tips of like, hey, do this, for your business, and you're gonna get a quick win. Hey, let's book a strategy call to, figure out something a little more in depth. And then that's where our sales process begins. Here I can kind of show off. So if they filled out the industry drop down here for consulting firms, they're going to get this version of that section. Healthcare practices, this version. Real estate there, and so on and so forth. Cool. From there, they're getting tagged. There's another automation on the back end of all this that is, when that tag is being applied, they're hopping into the pipeline as a deal. And then from here we have a couple of branches. If the booking link is clicked in that previous email, then they're going to go over to the high engagement sequence here. And this is just going to shoot them over a case study, just to kind of drive the sales process a little further. And same thing with that last email. It's using those industry-specific HTTP requests to generate different versions of case studies. I can hop in here and show that off as well. So they're getting a different introduction to the narrative, a different 90-day sprint outline. This is going to create, brand trust, essentially, right? Now, let's say they didn't click on that booking email. They're now in the low engagement sequence. And I can show you here at the end of this one, that's going to be a 3-day waiting period. If nothing was clicked, they're going to go into another 4-day waiting period. And then if we haven't heard anything yet, here we are. And this is going to be just a check-in. Hey, did you have a look at that email that we sent with your growth assessment? Take a look. And if that email link is clicked, then they're going to hop into a sequence. I think this is just a wait time. Yep. And then into that high engagement where they're going to get that same case study email, and then that sequence is done here. And yeah, just looking over the notes here, it's automating our lead generation and qualification process. Our entire brand is built around this idea of being human-centric and really living out our values that way. So being able to personalize the forms so deeply or rather the emails, it's really important for us. Makes all the difference, I think. And yeah, just kind of showing off here, brief overview of things, the branches, and then everything I had to do for setup, involving the HTTP post, Zapier webhook, implementing a Google Sheets JSON. I forgot to show that off. Eventually, we want to have this plug into a calculator that's going to pre-fill a PDF. That'll also be done using Keap. So when that form is inputted, that information is also showing up in our Google Drive here. So we can utilize that information elsewhere. And, oh yeah, I did forget to show this one here. So let's say we sent out that reminder email, hey, take a look. It's still nothing goes on. We're going to remove that lead tag, replace it with it's a cold lead, and then there's another automation moving cold leads into deal stage called closed, lost, not now. So we know where to follow back up with them later. Cool. And then moving over to campaign 2 here. This one's a little more straightforward, still utilizing those same merge fields. So in this case, this is after we've had conversations with the client, we have brought them on for a 90-day sprint, and we've moved their deal into our closed won section of the pipeline. And this is going to be a series of emails. This one's like, hey, glad you're here to join us. Here's what to expect. And then from here we have emails for each individual stage of how we've set up these 90-day sprints. Hey, let's go. Hey, it's been 15 days since we begun. How's it feeling? What are we learning? And yeah, we have ended this with a referral email, which I think is quite nice. It's going to help us drive more sales and, keep us in their minds. And I think this one is going out, basically after a week of everything being wrapped up. And yeah, so I'm not sure if it's supposed to be in this video, but using the calculator to figure out, the value of each campaign, I got basically $2,600 worth of value for campaign 1, saving us 8 hours a week in exchange for a 30% conversion increase and making sure that our marketing aligns with our values of having a human-centric brand. And then campaign 2, $1,500 on that one. It's 12 plus hours for each client for check-ins, and once we scale as hard as we'd like to scale, it's countless hours. So it's been great to set this up, and yeah, hope that was everything we needed to cover there. I just want to wrap up by saying it's been great to learn the whole Keap system. I've used other CRMs and things in the past, and I was entirely self-taught. So getting the opportunity to learn and have such a nice professional course put together was a real treat, and I feel very smart for it. So yeah, thank you for checking this out. Have a good day.